One of the things on digital ID that I do think we need to emphasise and make the case for, frankly, is the great benefits of digital ID. You can see from Estonia the speed with which people can access services that are available to them, which has been transformational, and there's great enthusiasm in Estonia for it. Here in India, I think it's 1 billion people have digital ID. It's been taken up on a voluntary basis in huge numbers. Not least because it means that you can access your own money, make payments so much more easily than is available with others. So I think now we need to go out and make that case of the huge benefits that this will bring. There needs to be a national debate about it, and I think that the more people see the benefits that come with this, the more, as has happened in other countries, people say that will make my life easier, and therefore I want to get on with it.
Hear it for yourself. Did you hear it? He said it will make it easier for you to have access to your money. I don't need you. I don't need you to make it easier for me to have access to my money. No, it will be easier. What he really means to say, it will be easier for them to control your money. Because again, the other part of that, when he said digital ID will make it easier for you to have access to your money, in other words, he's saying with digital ID system, we will control the money. That's what he's also saying. With it, we will control the money. Remember, they want to get rid of the cash, the paper currency we have, and turn it into digital currencies. That way they can control it. You're buying and selling. So digital ID system that they are talking about here, it's not you not using cash. It's not just you not using cash or pay items that you're purchasing with a card or something like that. No. It's more than that. It's giving the government full control over your life. By 2030, you will own nothing, and you will be so cheerful, so happy about it. Because they will own your money. They will own your money. Protesting about what's happening. You see? Look at the picture there. This is in Liverpool. This is in Liverpool, England. You see it right there? It says 1984. No to digital ID. You know the reference to 1984, what it means? Have you ever heard of the Orwellian? Yes, agenda, right? 1984. So people are rising up. They do not want to go back to what the world experienced during COVID-19. They are boldly proclaiming, standing up against the power that be this time. But again, as it says here on the screen, this is something that's not just happening in Great Britain. It's happening everywhere. Digital ID is suddenly a global problem. Just like the pandemic crisis was suddenly a global problem. Remember that? All of a sudden, it was a global problem. It moved at a pace that was so rapid that the majority of us did not know how to handle it. The majority of us were not ready for it.
We're developing, through technology, an ability for consumers to measure their own carbon footprint. What does that mean? That's, where are they traveling? How are they traveling? What are they eating? What are they consuming on the platform? So individual
Remember,
carbon
this was
footprint.
said 3 years ago. Now, we are here. We are here. We don't have it operational yet. So that means that 3 years ago, they already had the system. But it was not in operation yet. Well, fast forward to 2025. Is it now in operation? Yes, it is. And it's spreading worldwide. Notice on the screen from live site.
United Nations Agenda 21, Sustainable Development. It is the inventory and control plan. Inventory and control of all land, all water, all minerals, all plants, all animals, all construction, all means of production, all food, all energy, all information, and all human beings in the world. And this is a plan that was agreed to by 179 nations back in 1992. It's a United Nations plan. It's called the Agenda for the 21st Century. And so many of us around the world think that sustainable development, it just sounds so great. Isn't it about recycling and creative reuse and creating energy and food resources for everyone? And the answer is no. It really is not. It's about moving populations into city centers, concentrated city centers, and clearing them out of the rural areas. It's constructed of non-governmental organizations, corporations, and government in order to dictate and regulate what it is that happens around the world. Regionalization is the stepping stone to globalization. And globalization is the standardization of all systems. All systems have to be brought into harmony in order to control them all. And the goal of Agenda 21 is one world government and total control from a central unit. The principles are public-private partnerships, which is fascism. And this is how it's implemented on the ground, is through this joining together between corporations, non-governmental organizations, and governments in order to
frozen because your recent post on social media did not go along with the government narrative. Well, let me show you something that happened to a man who posted something that did not go along with the government's narrative. Tunisian sentenced to death. For what reason? For Facebook posts criticizing president. A Tunisian man has been sentenced to death. Now, this came out October 3rd, 2025. He has been sentenced to death on charges of insulting the president and assaulting state security through posts on social media. The head of the Tunisian League for Human Rights and his lawyer, the ruling is unprecedented in Tunisia, where restrictions on free speech have been tightened since President Kais Saied seized almost all powers in 2021. So this man has been what? Not just jail. We're not talking about has been arrested. We're not talking about he's been fined for a public post criticizing, sharing his disagreement with the president. We're not just talking about a few days in prison. No, it says he has been sentenced to death.
They are putting in place all of these technological mechanisms for control we've never seen before. It's been the ambition of every totalitarian state from the beginning of mankind to control every aspect of behavior, of conduct, of thought, and to obliterate dissent. The mechanisms are being put in place that will make it so none of us can run and none of us can hide. Within 5 years, we're going to see 415,000 low-orbit satellites Bill Gates says his 65,000 satellites alone will be able to look at every square inch of the planet 24 hours a day. They're putting in 5G to harvest our data and control our behavior. Digital currency that will allow them to punish us from a distance and cut off our food supply. Vaccine passports. You have a series of rights. As flawed as our government is, you can still go out and go to a bar. You can go to a sporting event. You can get on a bus or an airplane and you can travel. You have certain freedom. You can get educated, etc. The minute they hand you that vaccine passport, every right that you have is transformed into a privilege contingent upon your obedience to arbitrary government dictates. It will make you a slave.
You will not be able to work in the United Kingdom if you do not have digital ID. It's as simple as that.
Well, the government says digital ID will be compulsory for everyone in the UK, but you won't actually have to use it, to carry it, or show it to anyone unless you're applying for a job. The ID will be held on your phone, like the NHS app or a bank card, and it'll include your name, date of birth, nationality or residency status, and a photo, and possibly your address as well. By the end of 2029, you'll have to show it to your employer to prove you have the right to work in the UK, or they could be prosecuted. But the government says it'll also make life easier when applying for services like driving licenses, childcare or benefits. All European countries have ID cards. Some of them, like Estonia, have digital ones too. Identity cards were brought in during the First and Second World Wars, but they were abolished in 1952. Former Labour Prime Minister Tony Blair tried to reintroduce them 20 years ago, but the plans were dropped by the coalition government because of concerns about cost, privacy and civil liberties. Digital ID wasn't in the Labour manifesto at the last election, and the then Home Secretary denied looking at the idea last year. It's opposed by the Tories and Reform, who say it's a gimmick which won't stop the votes.
I do not see a single benefit to the government having digital ID other than them controlling what we do, what we spend and where we go.
A good score brings benefits, but people with low scores lose rights. The cinema names and shames people considered untrustworthy, plastering their details, even their addresses, across big screens.
It's a matter of principle. Those people have to be condemned.
Those people aren't honest, so they have to pay the price.
It's only right to pay your debts. You have to blacklist those that don't.
The Supreme Court has created a blacklist for so-called bad citizens, those whose ratings have dropped to 0. On it are companies, but also 23 million people to date. Among them is this journalist Liu Hu. He got a little too close to uncovering corruption among high-profile party members. After being sued for defamation by the subject of a story he'd written, he was blacklisted. He only realized when he tried to buy a train ticket and was told he was banned from traveling.
That tells me I'm still on the blacklist.
Punished because he's been branded untrustworthy by the state.
Once you're blacklisted, you can no longer get a bank loan, start a business, buy an apartment, or even send your children to a private school.
Liu Hu is among a tiny minority of people who have dared to criticize the system, which some are calling a digital dictatorship.
I worry because I think many people like me will be deprived of individual freedoms.
Because we're constantly recording, watching and recording everything that's going on. Citizens will be on their best behavior because we're constantly recording and reporting everything that's going on.
And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name.
How is this even legal? That's what I want to know. Are you recording? Do you need help? I don't know. Do I? What? So this is a reverse ATM. People come with cash and they can't use it. They have to come here.
Correct.
That's
It's a cashless building.
I have never seen a reverse ATM. So the idea is it works just like a regular ATM, but instead of putting in your card and getting cash, you put in your cash and get a card.
But also, because it's a regular debit Visa card, you can use it outside of the building.
Okay.
So if you wanted to go to Walmart or McDonald's or Target, wherever you want to spend your money, it's just a regular debit Visa card. That's what it looks like. And what you see is a lot of camper kids. Their parents don't give them a card.
No, of course
they
not.
They give them cash and expect this to give them
I wonder.
card.
I think
they're 10-year-old
card.
have a card.
Well, I'd have to imagine there's a lot of people with accessibility, or maybe, different people who want to spend their cash and just are probably shocked to find out. Yeah, but they can't. Yeah.
They just have to get a card and spend it.
It's crazy because it's like legal tender, but then I'm like, I guess not. I don't know. So, okay, so what do we do here? Touch to start. Okay.
You want to get a card.
We
right?
want to get a card. I mean, I don't want to get a card, but I'm going to get a card. Okay.
But remember, you can use it
Wait, what was
outside
that?
of here.
What was
Put
that?
money in it?
That screen? Did we have to put in our information? Is
No.
that? Oh, okay.
No, because at the end you can ask for a receipt.
Oh, okay. 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 Okay.
And it ate it.
There we go.
Are you done?
I'm done. Finished. Issue card.
Now, hold on.
Okay.
Take your card.
Okay.
Do you want a receipt?
Yes, I guess so.
Okay.
Yes, that's
Yes?
Yes. Now, why
When
do
it's gonna
people?
come?
Why do people want a receipt? What is that reason for? Just
Because people like to have a receipt that they know it's really $20 and it's not. Now, the other advantage that you have with this, there's no fee charge.
Okay.
And there's, whereas if you go to a lot of debit machines, you know what I mean? They charge what, $2, $5
to take out the cash.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
This charges you nothing.
Okay.
And
Wow.
as you see, it's a regular debit Visa card.
Yeah.
It expires next year.
Okay. Amazing. Wow. Well, thank you so much for your help. I appreciate it.
Welcome.
Yeah. This is fascinating. Yeah.
What?
Fascinating.
Yeah,
It's crazy. I appreciate it. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Very welcome.
Charlie Kirk had no coroner's report, no church funeral, no burial site or grave, no official death certificate. Why has no official autopsy been conducted, nor any findings released? No ballistics report. Not a single eyewitness on the record, and an award-winning widow already taking over his show. Why was the entire crime scene destroyed within hours, erasing vital evidence? They tore down everything, including the Dairy Queen. Why were there no paramedics on the scene? Why was Charlie Kirk's body removed and illegally flown out on Air Force 2? Why did Donald Trump pardon a Navy SEAL killer whose shadow looms over this case? Why was the stadium mysteriously booked by Turning Point 4 months before his death? How was a massive high-tech stadium memorial produced in only 11 days? Why do multiple women publicly appear as Eric erasing...
One second. Let's listen to that part about the stadium, because that's very important here in light of all this deception. Let's listen to that one more time.
Vital evidence. They tore down everything, including the Dairy Queen. Why were there no paramedics on the scene? Why was Charlie Kirk's body removed and illegally flown out on Air Force 2? Why did Donald Trump pardon a Navy SEAL killer whose shadow looms over this case? Why was the stadium mysteriously booked by Turning Point 4 months before his death? How was a massive high-tech stadium memorial produced in only 11 days? Why do multiple women publicly appear as Erica Kirk, raising questions of identity? Why are there no birth certificates for their children? No names revealed, no faces ever shown? Where is a video of Charlie playing with his kids at a birthday party, or picnic, or any other family setting? Why do Freemasonic and satanic symbols surround this tragedy with chilling precision? Interesting that the gun was found on property owned by Palantir. Isn't it interesting Kash Patel fired many of the heads of the FBI in that area days before the shooting? Do you find it interesting that Charlie sold his house 8 months ago for $5 million? If the father of your 2 young children was just brutally murdered for the world to see days ago, do you leave them home with a nanny while you go on podcasts grinning from ear to ear? Is it not curious that a 17-year-old first-time Donald Trump beauty pageant contestant won, and now Trump appointed a top attorney general woman who has no experience, who was also in his beauty pageant? This is only a fraction of the clues and evidence on this psyop. For those of you brave enough to look at the evidence while removing the preconceived emotions, the conclusion is undeniable.
Right, quiet on the set. Roll sound. Action.
It's a movie. Are you not entertained? It's a movie.
Green can. Why Kirk can eat.
Perfect lesson, I don't know. Fade up music.
Yes, brothers and sisters, we are the fools. We have fallen for this. Yes, I thank God that I did not fall for this thing. Now let me show you something here. Now, this is Erica Kirk. Now, look at this picture carefully. This is Erica Kirk. I believe this was 8 or 11 days after the so-called funeral of Charlie Kirk. Look at her, all grinning, all smiling, and with her, normal clothes on and everything, and she was at the Charlie Kirk show. This was one more time, 8 or 11 days after the funeral. Does that look like a widow in mourning? Does that, look at the picture again, and I'm gonna show you another picture. Does that look like a widow in mourning? It was just, your husband has been killed tragically on national television, and you are already all grinning from from ear to ear, and then you say the show must go on. Okay, now that was Erica Kirk. I believe this was almost 2 weeks ago. That was Erica Kirk. Now here is Erica Kirk this week. This is Erica Kirk this week. This is her. It's the same one this week. Just what, a couple of days ago? This is Erica Kirk, now dressed all in black and tears. And you believe Hollywood. This is Hollywood here. It's spiritualism, deception. Lie by the media.